Welcome back to the Virgo channel. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you have to be open to getting a shadow reading. I do look at what goes on the surface and all the things that everyone always wants to know, like what your person feels about you, what they're going to do, and all that good stuff. But we like to go deep on this channel. We like to look at the spiritual wounds, the shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes. Gives you an opportunity to heal, to shape shift your situation. All right. Now, and if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then you got to write the word of the video in your comment bar. Words of the video. Two cards fell out onto the ground, so I'm going to take them because I never believe in any mistakes. And those were opinionated and narrow-minded. I'm feeling like you're in separation from someone that's looking back on like the conversations that you had, and again, their approach to how they dealt with you. And they're seeing that they were really like, again, they had opinions about you based on other people's opinions. That's first of all. And those opinions made them really narrow-minded. Again, that they believe that relationships need to look a certain way. They believe that if they're a man, that their woman should be really like seen, look pretty, give, be like really, really nurturing, and really not have um a big part in society, to not really have a good job, definitely not make more money than them, definitely not get more attention than them, and I feel like you're someone that gets a lot of attention. I feel like, again, when they met you, you kind of triggered them a little bit to the fact that they went into competition mode, that they didn't really know how to navigate the relationship. If anything, they got scared of the relationship and they rejected the connection. That's really what I'm feeling, is because of their opinions about what a relationship should look like, what the person that they date should act like, and did not fit any of those things. So this is the underlining energy to your reading, and it's also the words. Today you can write either one of these words in your comment bar if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me. Again, either narrow-minded or opinionated. All right, let's jump in to the reading and see why I got that. Okay, let's look at some hidden truths. All right. I'm grateful for this spiritual lesson. So this person, again, feels that there is a really strong spiritual connection, because you're not someone that they would date. You're not someone that they feel they should be attracted to. You're not someone that, first of all, they're used to not even looking at their behavior. They're used to, again, getting what they want. They're used to having a big ego, and believing that they're right. I feel like this person's very smart in business and does well in business, but they're not very good in relationships because they handle their relationships a lot like business. But what they're seeing is that they're grateful for the spiritual lesson because they're still thinking about you. It's like this connection made them look at themselves, look at how they approach relationships. I hid who I really am from you. Yeah, again, they were more concerned about the persona that they're supposed to like play, and they didn't let you in. That was their way of not letting you in. And I feel like they hide behind material things. They want you to think that they're really successful and that they really don't have emotions and that they really don't care, but they really do care. They're really very soft person. They just don't trust themselves. I feel like if they let their sensitivity in, then what happens, like if they let their sensitivity like rule them, meaning they navigate everything through that. Then they give people too much and then they get hurt. So they try not to like make decisions based on their feelings. So they don't really bring in their feelings at all. So relationship is not really um, deep. They feel like they can't get deep. It's not they can get deep. They're afraid to tap into those emotions. They're afraid to be vulnerable. I hide behind material things, and that's what I said before. It's like they're not comfortable in showing people who they really are. They want people to perceive them through the persona of who they are. And again, you aren't all flashy. You weren't driving like a fancy car, like so concerned about money, always talking about money, always asking them for things. You weren't blowing up their ego. So again, what you showed them was not what they're familiar with. And also what they're realizing is what they're familiar with isn't really good. What it is it's like their narrow-minded way of thinking brings them people that only focus more about the money and material things instead of the real connection. But I feel like since you moved away, this person is really starting to think about that. Now we're going to see why I feel that way. Like again, their inner child, like again, their inner child, like this is brought up, this connection has brought up a lot of wounds that they have. Like they realize that they need a lot of healing because they're not, they won't, they're too afraid to tap into their feelings. I feel like when they were being raised, they were told, don't be soft, don't show your emotions. Like you have to act this way, you have to be this way. It needs to look like this. You need to act like this. So there's too much of that, of what they perceive things should look like instead of what they are, and that they have a really hard time expressing themselves, and that they held back from this connection for no real apparent reason except for like a perceived feeling instead of getting to know you. Like they had feelings for you, but they didn't like what it looked like or what you look like. I mean, they were attracted to you, but they didn't like the fact that you're humble, the fact that you care more about people. Like maybe you work a job that's more focused on helping people, and the focal point is not about the material things like the car that you drive, the house that you live in. I'm not going to give in to fear. I know fear is only an illusion. So again, it's making them again do their inner child work, and really that what their fear is, I'm afraid to get deep. I'm afraid to get intimate. That's why I held back. That's why I don't show feelings. That's why I had that's why I was so narrow-minded, because I was taught to think this way. That's why I had the opinions about you that I did. I almost felt like they thought that that was success, when that's not success and it's not love. It's again, love is something you have no control over. It just is. Our inner guidance is clear, but our ego is resisting it. So it's again, I feel like they question. They question. It's like they know, again, that inner self, that inner guidance system is the higher self. That's the God part of self. That's the part of self that recognizes who you are, that you're a soulmate, that you, again, could be in their life and can contribute to their life in a positive way if they will let you in. However, they don't trust themselves. They don't like having to be vulnerable. They don't like having to let people in. And it goes back to their childhood. It doesn't go back to like a past relationship. I feel like past relationships have mirrored that they have wounds that they won't heal. But it leads back to their childhood where they were taught not to be vulnerable, not to feel, not to show feelings, not um to show a persona, to have to be more focused on finances and to be successful and to, again, live a certain way than about love. Because love doesn't really exist, is what I feel like they think, where it's not that love doesn't exist, it's that they feel as love doesn't exist because there's too many of these down here. So we're not gonna hold them, but there's like 4 or 5 of them down there. But it's not that love doesn't exist, it's that they were never coming from that place of being open. So the focal point is that it's not that they can't be vulnerable and show their feelings because they don't believe it'll exist. It'll never really exist, is what I'm trying to get at. So they tend to, again, get in their own way about it, overthink about it, due to, again, all their past experiences. I wish I could say what I really feel. Someday I will, but right now I'm afraid to be myself. This person, again, that's what this relationship is really, again, showing them, that they're not even being honest with themselves, that they can't express themselves because expressing themselves would require them to be vulnerable. They want to, but their ego holds them back. So the fear holds them back, though they're saying that they're not going to let fear get in the way. They still really are letting fear in the way, even though they're trying not to, is what I see. It's like the resistance of, because they were conditioned to believe that things needed to be a certain way. And that's not really what love is. They have no control over this, and that is terrifying to them. I feel a sexual energy between us, yet it's beyond physical attraction. It needs to be elevated to the expression of deep unconditional love. So they also know that you're not going to be with them just for like sex. They know that. And they also can see that this relationship is a lot more than that. So it's requiring them to step into their true self, their higher self. They're terrified to do that. However, there's a lot of, again, this sexual tension because they're like, I really am attracted to you, because they can't control it. So it's terrifying. It's making them feel their own emotions, which is just as terrifying as having such feelings for you. So we can see the dilemma here with this person. Please contact me. I may not respond, but knowing you care opens my heart. See, this person's still in their ego. They would, if you contacted them, they would jump 1, 2, 3, and then be like, and show you feelings, but they cannot reach out to you. They cannot show this vulnerability to you. And that's what I see. It's like, I have feelings, but my ego is so in the way because of the way that I was conditioned, and I'm really not ready to let go of those behaviorisms. I'm just not ready. So we have to say, well, from being this way, it's like, again, this person has major trust issues, but they're causing major trust issues within inside of you. Time. It's, again, they don't give time, and that's really what it is. It's the trust is the fact that this person doesn't give time to you. So they treat you less than what you deserve, mainly because of and how it's supposed to look. And also what they know that they would have to do to actually be in a relationship with you. So these are triggers. It's like, well, I don't trust you because you won't give me the time. So if you don't give me the time, you don't really build an emotional connection to me, which is what you want. That's what you're used to doing. You're used to not having an emotional connection, so you have the upper hand. So you can still navigate your relationships with 1 foot in, 1 foot out, even though you have feelings for me. So of course you want me to contact you, because you, again, don't want to be vulnerable, but I'm not going to do it. Bluff. It's like I said, you're like, all right, I called your bluff. You thought that you were going to walk away from me and I was going to chase you because of this connection, but you haven't given me anything. So which is why, again, you walked away. So that's really what it is. And I feel like this person wasn't really sure how you felt. Like, and it's because they're used to, again, people falling all over them, people acting a certain way, it looking a certain way. It didn't look that way with you. And so again, really by them moving away, what they see is, well, you really did have feelings. So in a way, they are glad that they see that you had feelings for them. However, they also see that they messed everything up. And I feel like you're like, well, I also see that you do care about me, even though you didn't give me anything. So there's a lot of mirroring energy that I'm noticing back and forth between both of you. And again, because neither person's needs were met. Again, this person wasn't willing to give to you. They thought they were going to emotionally manipulate you to give to them. That didn't happen. Now they're in a place of, like, again, really thinking about it, but not 100% ready to surrender their ego. They need their inner child work done. And that's what this card is all about. It's like the inner child. So we have to say, your inner child must need healing too, because you wouldn't have attracted this person into your life. And there wouldn't be all this mirroring energy. So we have to ask Spirit, what were you supposed to learn from this situation, and what should we integrate into this situation to feel better? Let's see what it is. It's again innocence. So I feel like this person, like, again, stole the innocence from you. Innocence is also like child, right? Children are innocent. So I'm also feeling like you're supposed to be like a child now. Go out and find yourself. This person didn't make you feel as if you were enough. They didn't give you anything due to their fear. Nevertheless, there were still feelings there. So what Spirit's saying is you have to, again, go out into the world, explore, be like a child. Children don't have expectations of what life is supposed to look like. Have a love affair with yourself. And that's through, again, exploring and doing things. And then the universe will conspire to bring you the right people into your life. This person was wounded when they came into your life, I believe, to again show you what needs healing. And the healing is, again, for you to go back to like being a child. Maybe you weren't allowed to be a child. You, again, like this person, this is really what I'm feeling. This person was told that they couldn't be who they are, to suppress their emotions, to not feel. And I feel like you were told how to be, or that your feelings were not valid, or that you shouldn't feel a certain way. So you didn't feel comfortable to go out and explore and find yourself. You didn't want to seem vulnerable. Where Spirit's saying is, go out and find yourself. It's again because who you perceive you are and what you perceive you're worth a lot more. And entertaining a person that's, again, not giving anything and wants things to be a certain way so that they can feel good about themselves because of the car that you're driving or the house that their girlfriend or boyfriend lives in, is a little bit like very superficial. And what we see is that they can't have that's not ever really going to bring them satisfaction and love. It's very hard to keep up. So it's about you giving yourself that love by going back into, like, not, you can never go back into your childhood, but you can be like a child and give yourself like what it is that you need. And that's through exploring and seeing exactly what that is, because children don't exactly know what they want to do. They just go out into the world and every day is a new day and they explore and they find it. And that's what Spirit's saying is, go out and find it. without judgment. Again, misunderstood, which again making you feel as if you're misunderstood because of the needs that the needs that you require. And it being like, well, I feel like I'm like misunderstood, and misunderstood is a way of oppression too, when people are in your environment are committed to misunderstanding you. And which is what I'm feeling. This person had wounds, so they weren't going to share, hey, I'm broken. They're going to always make it like you're asking for too much, that they're judging you on what you need, which it said right here, when really it's like, that's not me. Like, it's again, I'm entitled to this. That's a form of gaslighting. I refuse to be around people that are committed to misunderstanding me. And your person needs to do that, or the person that's connected to you that wasn't capable of showing you emotions. They're misunderstood because they're not willing to be vulnerable. They're not willing to communicate. They're just trying to psychically read. But the problem is that they have wounds. And so if you are trying to read or intuitively pick up information and you have a lot of wounds, that you're reading the information distorted. You're not seeing what's really is being shown. And that's because, again, you're wounded. So it goes back to this person needing their inner child healing done. So again, still more mirroring energy. Again, overwhelmed. That relationships are not supposed to be overwhelming. Overwhelming is confusing. It doesn't make us feel safe. So those are the inner child wounds, that our innocence was robbed because it was very overwhelming in the environment that we grew up in, and also by someone telling us how to be and how to act. And that we're always being taken as misunderstood. So then we feel inadequate. And that's actually the mirroring energy that you and this person actually have. This person doesn't feel comfortable to be vulnerable. They want love. They just want it on their terms. And you also like, I want to be loved too, but I feel like I can never get it. And then so again, it's the same wound of not being able to embody your true self and lead through that true self. And that's through finding your passions. And that's going back and being a child, having fun. You'll meet your tribe and then you'll be understood. Otherwise, instead of being in this lower energy, but it's not that this person doesn't have feelings, they do, they're broken. And, unhealed people hurt people. And that's really what we see here, that this person like has feelings, but they hurt you. And that's a feeling that I feel like you have felt a few times through your relationships, but you don't need to. Like, it's up to you. Like I said, it's about going out and finding that love by giving yourself love, and not waiting for someone to go come and do the right thing, because again, they're wounded and their ego is leading them instead of like what their intuition would be telling them to do. They don't want to listen to their intuition. In God's hands, my trust in life is implicit in God's greater knowing and greatest love guides my heart and my choices. My faith is steady and I remain true to my light. Everything unfolds according to God's will. So I feel like, again, this relationship wasn't really one that was for you to be together with this person. It was for you to teach you about yourself. And it's again to bring back inner child wounds that needed to be healed. And by healing it, it was to go out and explore, be the child, like go out and find yourself. and in that you'll meet the right people and situations in your life, and don't give to this person. And this person actually needs to do that too. That everything's in divine order, even though we may not feel like that it is. This person loves, they're just not capable of loving you the way that you deserve to be loved, because they don't know how to do that for themselves. And so that's why they would actually need to go out and be a child. They need to invest in themselves and nurture themselves, because that's how you reparent yourself when you're told to be someone else, to not feel the things that you feel. It's to allow yourself, but that's only through, again, becoming it, release, and to release those negative um, things. So again, to integrate is the way that we release, and that's to reparent. And that's what this person needs to do, and that's what you need to do. So again, this connection was a divine connection, but not so you guys could be together, mainly to show you what needed to be healed and to be integrated so that you can attract who you want and the experiences that you want. Someone that's more in your vibration. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. If you resonated, don't forget to write. You have a choice today to either write narrow-minded or opinionated, because both cards fell out, and there are no mistakes, never in the spiritual realm. Everything's in divine order, even when we don't like. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.